Hello and welcome to Fletcher's Fields for Day 2 of the Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. We had some wet conditions yesterday and had to make some field changes, so we are now streaming live from Field 5 at Fletcher's. Our first match of the day, Fergus versus Upright. Fergus is in the green and white kit, going left to right, while Upright is in the white and red and blue kit, going right to left. And this is the U16 Boys Club Division.
Rough mic up.
So it looks like Upright with the first try of the match. Upright is a selects team. Upright Rugby Canada has put together this U16 team. And looks like the conversion's good. So Upright takes an early 7-0 lead on Fergus. For those tuning in to look for the Vaughan and Nomads game, there was actually a forfeit in that game, so the game did not happen. So Fergus starting with the ball here at half, looking to avenge that last score by Upright. Looks like another Upright try here. Scores right under the post. Another successful conversion.
Do we have batteries? Pass forward. Double knock. Guys, come.
So that's a knock on there by Fergus, and it'll be an Upright scrum right at the 10-meter line there.
Crouch. Bind. Sit. Foot up. Back. Back 10.
So Upright just not letting Fergus do anything with the ball today. Playing some strong defense.
Play advantage.
Fergus gets the ball over the half, and they look to score to cut the lead here. A nice run, nice run. That's a try for Fergus. Conversion unsuccessful. So Upright holds a 14-5 lead. We're nearing halftime now. This is day 2 of the Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. A little better conditions than yesterday. We had rain all day, but the fields are a little worse for wear. Fergus able to get the ball right off their kick there. And they look to score in the corner. That's a good try. Referee signals for halftime. At half, Upright leads Fergus in the U16 boys division 14-10. We'd like to take this time to thank all of our sponsors. As you can see in the right corner of your screen, we have all our activations set up. These partners have been braving some crazy weather over the weekend, and we thank them for their support of this event. Toronto Wolfpack, Aptuella Rugby, Bellwether Investments, Adelhard, Rugby Canada, the City of Markham, U Sports, Simply Home, Water on Wheels, York Region, Gilbert Rugby Canada, Apex Chain and Cable, Performcrete, Barbarian, and Honda. Fergus is taking the field, and Upright will follow shortly as we look to begin the second half here. The Upright Rugby Rogues have become quite the powerful teams. Upright Rugby running various select teams and academy-based programs. I think we're having just a few technical difficulties with the ref mic, so we'll have to shut that one off. But as we speak, Fergus is kicking off. They look to take advantage here. Knock on called. Scrum down for Fergus here. A knock on called for Fergus there. Upright with the scrum now. Upright currently leads 14-10. Big speed up the wing by that Upright player, but taken down by Fergus. Upright looks to have numbers on the wing. And the try is called. Strong set of phases by Upright there to get that score. Looking for a tough kick here. So Upright with another try here to add to their lead, and an easy conversion here. So with that conversion, Upright brings their lead to 26-10 on the Fergus Highlanders here in the U16 Boys Club Division. The Rogues selects, kicking off. Fergus looking to answer back. Upright looks to jump on a loose ball there, but the ref calls for a knock-on. So we have a scrum for Fergus. Fergus with a quick restart here after that penalty. Upright gets in the way of it, but it's called a knock-on.
Don't chase it! Don't chase!
We have 4 divisions running today here at the Fletcher's Field for day 2 of the Magnificent Sevens presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. We have the U16 and U18 divisions for both men's and women's, so some great rugby still to be played. Stay tuned for 2 p.m. Where the semifinals and the quarterfinals will begin. A line out here for Upright Rogues. They bring the ball out wide. Shifty play by the number 7 there, and he looks to have scored. Just short of the line. And that's a try. Conversion's good. Upright holds a 33-10 lead. Fergus looking to answer back. Looks like we have a maul forming here. And that's the final. So with the final whistle, Upright wins the first match here on Field 5, 33-10 over the Fergus Highlanders. This is the U16 boys division. So for the next match, we stick with the U16 boys division. We have the Toronto Saracens playing Southwest Rugby. The Toronto Saracens at the U16 level just recently won the Rugby Ontario Junior Cup Provincial Championship, and that was in 15s. So probably a different looking team, but comprised of, I'd assume, similar players. So just about to kick off the next match on Field 5 here. Sticking in with the U16 boys division, we have the Toronto Saracens kicking off going from right to left, and they're playing Southwest Rugby, who are going left to right here in the black kit. So ball doesn't go the 10 meters that it needs to. So back to half for Southwest here to start off the game. Southwest immediately takes it up the wing. Saracens able to stop the attack. Nice kick up, but looks like Southwest is able to grab it.
Secondary tackler must release. Back 10.
So Southwest taking it to that right side again. Speedy number 12 here, bringing it under the post for the first try of the match. And right away you can see why they're bringing the ball to that side. We'll just fix the scoreboard here, make sure it's on the next game. So conversion's good there.
Guys, don't do that. Wherever you want on the line. First thing's knock on. Scrum down, yeah. Crouch! Bind! Other bind, underneath. Set!
So Southwest winning their scrum here. Taking the ball up the opposite wing this time. Using their speed to their advantage right off the bat here.
No, it isn't.
The Saracens answer back with some speed of their own. Nice little play there. And they were unable to get it over the line. Kicks back to the Saracens at half. They kick it to touch, so it should be a line out for Southwest Rugby here. So Southwest with a clean line out there. Once again, bringing the ball wide out to the opposite wing.
Straight through.
Attempted kick, but it looks
Okay,
like looks like a block there
Charge
by
down, player in front.
Saracens.
That's an accidental offside, all right? We have a scrum.
So accidental offside, as you can hear from the ref there. And we'll have a scrum. Looks like scrum feed for Southwest.
Accidental offside. Crouch! Bind! Sit!
Another kick upfield. Southwest looking to use their speed to get up to the ball first. And a little grubber forward, and it looks like they might have it here. That's a try. Oh. What did I do there?
Nope.
So Southwest brings their lead to 12-0 on the Toronto Saracens. So Southwest really using their speed in this one for both their tries. So obviously a theme of their game plan here. They kicked the ball off, and not able to handle it was the Saracens player
Off
there.
forward.
Under advantage, they call knock on. But with that whistle, we're at halftime. So Southwest Rugby leads 12-0 on the Toronto Saracens in the U16 boys club division. The 2017 Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival is presented by the Toronto Wolfpack.
Thanks.
Thank you to all our sponsors for their generous support of this weekend's event. And thank you to all the clubs, volunteers, coaches,
Yeah, that's why I said
parents,
we were going.
managers
That's why I said no.
for making these events possible and making rugby possible in Ontario.
It wasn't 10-7. It was 14-5. There's definitely two. You know, Upright scored twice on the post. We got it right. Sure. We're done. Which way are you going there? Sweet. Green, ready. Black's ready. Time's on.
Second half is underway here at Fletcher's. In the U16 boys division, we have the Saracens
Down, release.
taking on the Southwest Rugby. Saracens with a strong fend there. The number 8 is taking it upfield. Looks to get an angle on the defense here. And he scores just right of the post. So Saracens add their first points of the game. Pending this conversion, they have a 7-point deficit. So the conversion was unsuccessful. Southwest Rugby leads 12-5 in the early stages of the second half. Southwest comes up with the ball off the kickoff. Looks like a high tackle there.
Back 10.
Southwest with a nice chip shot up the wing. And their speed is once again a theme of this game as they scored their third try of the match. Right under the post. Bring their lead to 17-5, waiting on this conversion. With that whistle, the conversion's good, and Southwest Rugby takes a 19-5 lead. We're about halfway through the second frame. This is the U16 boys club division.
Lift again. Lift again.
Saracens taking to the ball to the right side of the field here. And another
Ball,
strong run by
halfway.
8 there.
Not held, play.
Brought down on a tackle. Could have been high.
Off foot.
So it looks like a knock on there on that one.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Saracens able to turn the scrum there.
Wheeling.
They get a penalty for wheeling there. And Southwest is taking the ball to the opposite side once more to get it to their speedy wingers. Saracens really have some strong tacklers.
2, must release.
And they've been able to turn over the ball here. Try to grub her, but was unsuccessful. A lot of kicking going on in this game.
Get it, go.
Quick line out for the Saracens. Try to take Southwest for granted.
Same again. Must release, okay? As soon as he goes to ground, you got to release him.
So Southwest called for not releasing, and the Saracens had the ball once more. Errant pass there.
I'm gonna say, knock on. Subs?
Hey, Andrew, ask the referee if they have to engage. Okay? Stewie! Yanu! Come on off.
Right there.
So a scrum here for the Saracens after a couple substitutions. With the second half dwindling,
Bind!
Southwest Rugby leads 19-5 here at Fletcher's Field in the U16 boys division. Some sidestepping going on here. Saracens gaining field position slowly.
You must release.
Back, it doesn't matter, get back!
No, not mate. Oi!
Saracens called for not releasing, so Southwest
Andy, drop.
gets a restart.
Thank you. Now drift, Andy, drift. Hold him up!
Maul!
Don't release! Don't let go, Paul!
Moving!
Looks like a maul is formed here.
Let's go! Set up for the scrum! We don't have time!
Last play.
So ref signifying the last play.
Green ball.
Southwest likely to come away with a victory in this one. Saracens looking to add some points to their board, though.
Might want to be this side, mate. Oi. You always want to be on the left side of the scrum, okay? Because this guy's hit is closer to you. Crouch!
Andy, pull
Bind!
Eric, come
Sit!
Sir, he's offside.
And Southwest kicks to touch to end the match here. They win their first game of the day, 19-5, over the Toronto Saracens in the U16 boys club division.
You just blanked. I had it. Okay, get it for you.
The next game on the docket, we switch to the U18 boys division with the Balmy Beach going up against the Jesters from Brantford. The U18 club division is interesting because we had our U18 elite division yesterday, so a lot of the players that played with their academies and branches are also representing their clubs on in today's competition. So a great opportunity for them to get involved in play on both days.
Are we good with the mics and everything? Still working fine? Sweet.
So just kicking off here, the U18 boys division, the Jesters out of Brantford, kicking off to Balmy Beach. The Beach making their way to half here. Good little offload there. Oh, and the Beach knocking on there, but Brantford actually grabs it, so play continues. They call the knock on after playing with advantage there. So Brantford has the scrum just below their half. So the Jesters are a program run through the Brantford Harlequins. It's interesting to see these two teams match up as last weekend we saw the two senior men's 15s teams of these names match up for the McCormick Cup. Brantford Harlequins came away with the victory and it was their second cup win in as many years. So congratulations to them and Balmy Beach on great seasons. Both programs have produced some solid national athletes. Balmy Beach has a long list, but currently Lucas Rumble, Dan Moore, who's playing out of Oxford University. And the Jesters look to have numbers on the outside. And there's a scorer in the corner. So Jesters get an early lead. Balmy Beach wasn't able to capitalize on their initial offensive pressure. And with that, the Jesters are up 5-0. We'll see how they do on this tough conversion kick. In sevens, it has to be a drop goal, so can be tough from these angles. Had the distance, but didn't have the angle. So the Jesters are up 5-0 on Balmy Beach. As I was saying about national athletes, Brantford has produced recently some strong athletes, including Aaron Carpenter, who went on to play professionally, and he also represents. He's currently playing for the Doncaster Knights, but he's represents Canada. Has represented Canada on many occasions. I believe he has he's the all-time caps leader, just surpassed Al Sharon. Eric Howard recently too, and Roy McDonough. So scrum down here for Balmy Beach. Looking to win this one and get it out of their end. Still lots of rugby to be played. There's a big step by the Beach player there. Once again, moving the ball outside. So that's a knock on there for Balmy Beach off that play. Scrum down for the Jesters. Looks like a collapsed scrum there. Beach able to put a bit of pressure on there, and that's a big tackle. Jesters called for a knock on there, and Balmy Beach has an ideal location for their scrum. Looking to score here and tie things up. The number 2 doing it all himself there to get close to the And there he is. That's a try. Great effort by the Bonnie Beach squad there. And they're right under the post, so we'll see if they can hit this conversion. Looks like the conversion was not good. So that brings Bonnie Beach to 5 points. And Bonnie Beach and Jesters are now tied as we near halftime, I would assume. So we'll see if Beach can add some more points, or the Jesters. Oh, the Jesters with some speed on the right side there. No support, and the Beach almost triple teamed them. But the Jesters keep pressing here, moving the ball to the opposite side once again. Oh, big fend there by the Jesters. What a strong play by the Jesters there. But looks like it's all for nothing as there's a knock-on called. And with the whistle, we go into half. Beach and Jesters are tied 5-5. So we're just about to kick off the second half here. We're all tied up at 5, and Bonnie Beach has the kickoff.
White ready. Gold ready. Time's on.
Jesters come up with the ball.
Vanish, last forward.
Jesters have a big team here as they've subbed off most of their starters.
Yeah. Scrum.
It's huge to have a strong bench in festivals like this where there's
Coach.
many games.
Bind. Set.
It's a scrum feed here for Bonnie Beach. Looks like it almost collapsed there, but they get the ball out in time. The Bonnie Beach player keeps pushing.
Through the middle, play. Not held, play.
get the ball on the outside. Looks like that was forward pass called. Scrum down here for the Beach.
Get dribble. Two more steps. Crouch. Bind. Sit.
Jesters switching it over to the right side here, and looks like we have another try for the Jesters. So waiting on the conversion, but Jesters take a 10-5 lead here. Once again, another tough kick from the right side here. The distance was there, but once again, angle was not. So the Jesters take a 10-5 lead.
Close enough, Eva.
Beach made a few subs on this last play. Jesters almost slipped through, but Beach able to get the ball back.
Play.
Beach bringing the ball out wide here, but bring it back into the center of the big man there. Beach player loses a bit of steam, but able to offload it to his teammate there, who just rolls in for the try. Bommy Beach bring this game back to a tie here, and it's 10-10. If they get this conversion, they can take a narrow lead.
I believe so, yeah. Oh, geez. No hands. Oh, foot. Crouch. Close the gap up, please. Bind. Sit. knock on. And it's you.
Oh, let me see on my screen.
Go for it. This will be last play.
So referee just letting the players know that this is the last play.
Coach,
I believe we might have
Fine.
missed a conversion,
set.
so not totally sure about our score here. So we'll keep you updated as we find out.
Lost forward. Yeah, sure, go for it.
So maybe days, and you're allowed to.
I think that's a lot better.
But before the ball.
You're not allowed to push. You're not allowed to push.
Yeah, but they're not obviously not
As the
push,
day
but
goes
you're allowed
on,
to
we might
use
have to ride
before
that
the
a
ball's
little bit
even
because the light
engaged.
will change.
Both of the both pots on offsides are allowed to yield it.
A little bit?
On more than a little bit. So why wasn't it immediately blown
you-
out?
No, no. So
Ever
I
wanna
guess
re-see a
the
play
problem
or
there is a
something?
definition of a little
I
bit.
will have
Okay,
this
for
ready
me,
to go.
this is sevens with 3-on-3.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of movement that can
Yeah,
happen in there,
obviously,
okay?
yeah.
So that is a little bit in sevens. So in 15s, that would look like a lot of wheeling. That we're just gonna let it go. All right?
Okay. And okay. I was just like, because it was before the ball, like obviously ball in.
Yeah.
Backwards. I was thinking,
I believe it was 10-10, but yeah,
what is 12-12?
10-10.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah. Good job. Hold on.
10-10.
10-10.
Sounds good. 2 tries apiece.
That's right. Have fun, Carrie. No problem. Well done. 10-10. I don't know. U14s you can walk.
So 10-10 is the final score. A good draw in that game.
Yeah.
Next up, we're going to switch to some U18 girls action. We have the Brampton Beavers taking on the Jesters from Brantford.
I want to check his battery soon. Maybe after next game or something. Do we signal him? Is there a way we can signal him, or do we just walk?
I think he'll realize that he walked off once he starts getting undressed.
No. I mean, like, check the batteries.
Oh, okay. He should bring it back.
Okay.
But yeah, you could just bring him over. He's the only one that really wears it. So just about to kick off here. Brampton kicking off left to right to the Jesters. So Brampton wearing the white and maroon kit. The Jesters wearing the black and red. And right away the Jesters bringing the ball over half. So the Jesters get a restart here. Ball's a bit slippery, so we have a knock on. It's a scrum feed for Brampton.
So this ref doesn't wear it, eh?
No.
What can you do?
So the ball a little slippery in this wet grass, and it seems to be an issue early on for both teams. Look to string together a few phases and get the ball over half here as Brampton has the ball. So Jester's called for a knock on there. There was an initial advantage because Brampton still had the ball, but once the Jesters touched it again, we go back to a scrum feed for Brampton here. A lot of drop balls early on, just getting used to the conditions, I'm sure. Great scrum by the Jesters. Good fend by that Jesters player. They look to get into the Beavers territory here. So restart here for Brampton. Sorry, the Jesters. Another scrum here, this time Brampton feed. As both teams look to make something happen. I'm going to give it another try here. So Jesters starting to string together some phases here. And looks like another knock on there. Now it's not raining now, but it rained all day yesterday, so I'm sure the field is still wet and making the ball quite slippery and hard to handle here. Looks like someone lost their cleat on that play. She's running with one cleat. Oh, but pushed out into touch there, I think. Referee signals for halftime. Or no, that was a try scored. Conversion unsuccessful. Now it is halftime. So Jesters go on the board with the one cleated run into the right corner. And the Jesters are up 5-0 on Brampton here. So the Jesters are out of Brantford, the Brantford Harlequins Club, and Brampton, obviously in Brampton, the Brampton Beavers Rugby Club. We'll take a quick break here as we wait for the teams to take the field. I'd like to take this time to thank our valued sponsors for their contribution to this weekend's event. Without their support, many of these things would not happen, and we really appreciate it. So second half underway here. Jesters have a 5-0 lead after a late try in the first half. And it's just a scrum down here for Brampton as they look to get the ball out of their half. Apologies, that's a scrum down for the Jesters. Jesters looking to get the ball wide here. Couple strong tackles by Brampton. They're able to scoop the ball up there. Looking to gain some ground on the left side here. Brampton taking the ball up the opposite side of the field. And they look to have broken away from the defense here. And that's going to be a try right under the post. So great opportunity for a conversion as well and to take the lead.
Good hustle.
So just a drop goal conversion here. And the conversion is good. So with that, Brampton takes a 7-5 lead early in the second half. And the Jesters have scored to answer back on that early Brampton try. And they're right under the post too, so we'll see if they can stick this conversion and take the lead here. So conversion unsuccessful, but the Jesters still have a 10-7 lead on Brampton here. So Brantford continues to press in the Brampton zone here. Brampton half. The slippery ball continues to be a factor in this one as the Jesters unable to pick it up, and they're called for a knock-on. Brampton scrum. As you can see in the background, some of our great sponsors who are here today activating with us. Thanks again to them for doing that. And if you come down to Fletcher's, check them out and see what they have to offer in their tents. A lot of giveaways, a lot of merchandise. So check them out. And Jesters on a strong run here. And the Jesters player able to just walk in, capitalize on that penalty. So that's a try scored for the Jesters. And they pad their lead by 5 points. So 15-7 for Brantford, the Jesters, and we'll see if they can stick this tricky conversion to add some insurance. A great kick, and the conversion's good. So Jesters up 17-7 on the Brampton Beavers, and that's the final as the two teams shake hands in the corner. So the Jesters come away with the win in a game where we saw a lot of drop balls, but the conditions definitely playing a factor in that one. So in our next match, we will see the TRU Reds play the Toronto Nomads. So definitely some teams that will be familiar with each other, both based in the Toronto area. So this is still the U18 girls. So we have this game in the U18 girls division. Next up, after that we have the Crusaders playing the Western New York Lightning. So stay tuned. Still lots of great rugby to come. We'll get some more U18 boys division after that, as well as some U16 girls.
Morning, guys.
So thanks again to our sponsors, as you can see on the screen there. And the teams begin to come out onto the pitch. We have the TRU Reds playing the Toronto Nomads. So the Reds are wearing the all-red kit, while the Nomads are wearing a blue and white striped kit. Nomads will be going, looks like, east to west, while TRU will be going west to east here. So we're just kicking off here. We have TRU Reds playing the Toronto Nomads in the U18 girls division. And the ball doesn't go 10 meters, so get a restart here at half for the Nomads. So Nomads going to touch early here. And it should be a TRU Reds line out. Short line out in Rugby Sevens. Only includes 3 players. But as you can see, they still lift. Sometimes electing not to, but it still is used. So TRU bring the ball to the opposite side to try to get some space. But it looks like there's a knock-on the play. Scrum down for Nomads. Nomads are one of the teams, one of the clubs who calls Fletcher's Field home. This also includes the Toronto Saracens, the Markham Irish, the Aurora Barbarians, and the Toronto Scottish. So the Reds looking to get past half here and get some offensive pressure. The Reds streaking up the wing, and it looks like it could be a score here. But a strong tackle from the Nomads to save that try. The Reds still pressing here, still with the ball. Oh, and that was a nice move to get past, and that's the first try of the game for the TRU Reds. So they take a 5-0 lead. Just hit the crossbar on that conversion, so unsuccessful. But the TRU Reds are now up 5-0 early in this game against the Toronto Nomads. TRU Reds continue to exert pressure, just crossing half here, looking to score once more and bring their lead to 10. Slippery conditions here playing a factor. And the Reds have the ball outside, but she brings it in the center and puts on the Jets to score a try. What a great try by the TRU Reds there. The Reds add to their lead and now are up 10-0. See if the conversion is successful. Another crossbar hit there. So two unfortunate missed conversions, just hitting the crossbar. But the TRU Reds take a 10-0 lead into half as we take a break here. Toronto Nomads will look to bounce back in the second half and get some points on the board. You're watching the 2017 Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. This is the U18 Girls Division. The TRU Reds have a 10-0 lead on the Toronto Nomads here. So TRU Reds open the scoring in the second half here, just scoring under the post. And that brings their lead to 15-0, pending this conversion. So picking up right where they left off in this half. Conversion is good. TRU Reds 17, Toronto Nomads 0. We just began the second half, so still lots of rugby to be played, and we'll see if the Toronto Nomads can answer back here. So scrum feed here for the Toronto Nomads. And the TRU Red are able to come up with the ball here and right back on the attack. Getting that ball wide. And they got a man. Yeah, so numbers on that side, and they're looking to take advantage here. And the Reds bring the ball from one side to the other and are able to score for their 4th try of the game, bringing their lead to 22-0. The conversion was unsuccessful, so TRU lead stays at 22-0. Nomads will receive the ball off this kick, so looking to add some points to their side of the board here. Be sure to stay tuned for the next match. We have the Crusaders out of Oakville playing the Western New York Lightning, and that is also the U18 girls division. So a strong run by the Toronto Nomads here. We'll see if she's got the juice to keep going, and she touches down right under the post on the right side. So Nomads able to answer back quickly after that try and add some points to their side of the board here. The conversion is good. So the TRU Reds are leading the Toronto Nomads 22-7 here at Fletcher's Field in day 2 of Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival action presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. This is the U18 Girls Club Division. We also have the U16 divisions in both men's and women's, as well as the other U18 Club Men's Division. So some strong young rugby players out here today. So ball goes into touch there, and it'll be a Nomads line out. So Nomads win the line out here. And we'll try to score on the right side here and get over half. Another big run by the Nomads here, and they look to have split the defense and touched down right under the post once more. So the Nomads, with 2 great tries, in the past 5 minutes, able to add some points to their side of the board and cut this lead. So with that, the Toronto Nomads bring their point total to 14, but the ref whistles for the final, and the TRU Reds take this one 22-14. So Nomads made it close in the end, but TRU Reds come out on top in this one. So next up we have the Crusaders out of Oakville, and they will be playing the Western New York Lightning. This is also the U18 club division.
You're gonna kick off.
We're back with some 2017 Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival action from Field 5 at Fletcher's Fields in Markham.
Is this basically the upright team from yesterday?
Today's event is presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. We are watching U18 Girls Club Division. So going right to left, we have the Crusaders out of Oakville. And going left to right, we have Western New York.
Blue ready.
It's actually the only glove I brought. So
Gold's ready. Time's on.
hope that helps.
She touched it. She touched it. Middle, 2 ladies, 2 girls, 1 person here as well. 1 person right in the line. And come up, come up. 2 meters from her and 2 meters from the sideline. Keep going. 2 steps forward. Forward. There we go. Sweet. Bonajova.
So Western New York here with the ball, and they're wearing in the blue kit, while the Crusaders are in yellow.
Play.
So looking like Crew might have a try here after a couple kicks upfield. And there's the score. That's 5 points for the Crusaders. Looks like Taylor Black who scored that one. And she'll try the conversion. Conversion is just short, so Crusaders lead stays at 5-0. And just a strong play there to take advantage of a loose ball and kick it upfield. So Crusaders add some points to their side of the board. Western New York will likely try to avenge those points after the Crusaders kick off here. So ball is kicked off. The Crusaders come up with it though. They look to bring the ball out wide on the right side here. And it looks like another Crusaders try in the right corner.
No. Forward.
Oh, no. So the ref has signaled that that ball was forward. So we are going to have a scrum for Western New York Lightning.
Coach. Bind. Sit. Make sure not to attack the 9. But
So big run up the wing here from Western New York. And they may have, yeah, it looks like they'll score right under the post with the 60-meter run there. Number 13 on the Lightning. So she will try to convert her own try. We're all tied up at 5 pending this conversion. And the kick goes off the post.
it's not a fake. It's more if she's not.
And we're all tied up at 5.
A lot for it, right?
Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah. You can brighten it up maybe by half a stop.
Ladies, you're kicking off. Okay. With a scrum half, just make sure you're not going to do a fake before you throw the ball in, all right? Who plays scrum half at that scrum back there? You? Yeah. Make sure you don't pump it before you throw it in, okay? Just one movement, all right? Sweet. Yeah, that's fine. No problem. Which way are you kicking, 13?
The Crusaders come back and they'll look to score here. Right under the post as well, so Crusaders add 5 points to their lead here. So they're up 10-5 and we'll just wait on the conversion.
Yeah, you can see the pose.
Conversion attempt is good. Crusaders now lead 12-5 on the Western New York Lightning. This is U18 Club Girls Division Rugby at the 2017 Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival, presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. Make sure to head to magnificentsevens.com to stay updated on schedules, standings, and results. So ref just calling that forward. We'll have a scrum down here for the Crusaders.
Crouch. Bind. Sit.
And the Crusaders slip away, and they have a score right under the uprights. So adding a couple within the last 5 minutes, and they're able to slip away here. The conversion is good. That brings Crusaders lead to 19-5 on the Western New York Lightning here at Fletcher's Field.
Which way? Make sure they're behind you, not behind the line. Move faster. Get out faster. Roll away. Where you were. That's fine. Play there.
So the Lightning string together a few strong runs there. They get the ball outside, but the Crusaders were able to stop that. Trying to get the ball loose. Crusaders able to strip it.
Fun drove it.
And that's a knock on for the Crusaders. So it'll be a scrum down
Scrum blue.
for the Lightning.
Last play.
So referee just calling for last play of the
Crouch.
game here.
Bind. Sit. Further. Then a meter and a half. Meter and a half.
Crusaders looking to add some insurance here with a strong run up the right side of the field. And the Western New York Lightning not able to catch her. And that adds to the Crusaders' substantial lead. The conversion is good, and Crusaders bring their lead to 26-5. And with that whistle,
Guys, let's have a
that's
quick
the
halftime,
final.
please. Nice and quick.
Oh, that's sorry, halftime here, and Crusaders are up 26-5 in this one.
The scrum? Yeah, so you guys got forward, okay? You made a play on the ball, then it wasn't available, okay? Then you kept pushing. Okay, so a meter and a half in the under 18 laws, that's too far. All right? No, definitely, yeah. That was my bad. You ladies scored the one try, right? One try down there? Yeah. Not converted, no? Which way are you kicking, 13? Thank you. Gold team ready? Blues ready? Time's on.
Second half underway here as the Western New York Lightning kick off to the Crusaders. Crusaders hold a 26-5 lead here and put up quite a few points in the first half. So we will
Gold roll.
we will see how the Lightning answer in this second frame. The Crusaders have always been a very strong program, both in 7s and 15s. Lately their women's 7s, their junior women's 7s programs have been quite strong. A lot of national and provincial athletes coming through these programs.
Bind. Sit. Holding on. Where you are. Retreat, blue, keep going. Thank you, that's good.
So the Crusaders have added another try. Conversion unsuccessful here. So that brings their lead to 31-5 here in the early stages of the second half.
We're going 5 again. Which way are we going this time?
So the Crusaders kick the ball to the left of the field, but ball goes into touch.
Be careful not to play her when she doesn't have the ball, alright? Put it down, stable.
So Western New York with the
Gold, you need
with
2
the line out.
and 1 there, thanks. Stay out, go 10. Go 10. Stay back. That's alright, as long as you match or below.
The Lightning with a quick line out there to the close player, and they're bringing the ball out very wide. See if they can get the ball over half here and get in scoring territory. Strong run on the wing, and she has looked to gotten away from the Crusaders' defense here to score the Lightning's second try of the match. Strong run to bring their point total to 10 for Western New York. Crusaders up 31-10 here. And with the conversion, it's 2 more points for Western New York. So Crusaders 31, Western New York Lightning 12. We're about halfway through the second half here. You're watching the 2017 Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. Be sure to follow along on our social media channels at Mag7s on Twitter and at Rugby Ontario on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. A big tackle by the Lightning there. But Crusaders keep pressing. Bring that ball to the wing. So then there's another Crusaders try. So they continue to string together strong offensive pressure against this New York Lightning side. So conversion from the tough angle was unsuccessful, and with that whistle, we have full time here in the U18 women's division as the Crusaders win this one 36-12 versus the Western New York Lightning.
Whatever you can manage with that. Yeah, definitely bonus point. Yeah. No, it didn't go out within the 10. It's just got the air or something. Okay, lads, you guys can pick up from this side. You guys can see from that side.
So in our next match here, we will switch to the U18 men's division. We have the Celtic Barbarians taking on the Brampton Beavers in the U18 men's club division. The Barbarians are going left to right here in the blue and white kit, while the Brampton Beavers are in the white and maroon.
Black, ready. Whites, ready. Time's on. Be careful, right?
So the Celtic Barbarians take an early lead here with a try from Zach Fullen. I'm actually joined here by head coach Cam Wilton of the Celtic Barbarians. Thanks for joining us here.
No problem.
So I guess first question, just explain to the folks at home how the Celtic Barbarians came to be and where some of these players are from.
Well, this group particularly covers coast to coast. We have from Cowichan on Vancouver Island, 2 players from a U16 and U18 division. And one of the boys, Kieran Merritt Hitch, goes to university in Philadelphia area at the moment. So he's traveled up from the U.S. And young Logan Kitts from Cowichan, who's in the BC U16 team at this year's Nationals. And we had a late addition that we're happy to receive from our friends in New Brunswick with Logan Crawford, who's a star player with their New Brunswick U16 Nationals team. So, and then everyone else is filled in between. We've got a good core of Alberta-based players, but some are playing in BC and at University of Toronto with football, and one of our spares, Dalton Campbell's with the Guelph Griffins, and luckily had a bye this weekend, so he was able to join us for most of these 2 days of games. But yes, most of the core is Alberta-based. The Barbarians themselves started in Alberta 10 years ago, and we've had 26 tours before this one with boys and girls from 13 to 19 years old. And now our selection base ranges from everywhere in North America, with some players in England and Scotland. So it's basically a group that tends to get billeted when they travel, especially with the 15 aside. And we meet and pick up scouted players along the way, or people that we want to have play for us in future tournaments. So started with the Leprechauns and the Strathcona Druids, and has expanded from there as we played in Sacramento in 2006, our first tournament.
Play. Don't touch
So
that ball.
just as we were speaking there, the Celtic Barbarians added their second try of the match.
And this is Ben Miller from St. Albert, who's a star player with the Edmonton Gold rep team, to his other Edmonton Gold partner from St. Albert, Ethan Simmons.
And there's a try. I think there were there were some conversions there, but I'm not 100% sure, so we can add those on later. But three tries right off the bat, so you got to be happy for that.
Yeah, they're starting to find their legs today. The challenge with the Barbarians team is that we often have one day to get to know each other and learn each other's names and tendencies and where all the pieces fit. And invariably it all comes together just as we're about to get back on our planes going home again. But that's kind of how we roll. And when you pick the right players, they can gel very quickly and adapt to each other's positions and playing out of position often for them. But it's a good group of athletes, and they're starting to become good buddies as well now. So
Release now, White.
So
Get out.
this team also participated yesterday in the U18 Elite Division. I guess, how did you guys do in that, and what did you think of the competition?
the competition was great. I particularly enjoyed the tough pool that we were in, and unfortunately we were the last of three 2-1 teams after the first leg of the round robin, and we were a bonus point short from advancing into the semis, which was a tough pill to swallow. But we had one game where the boys fell asleep a little bit, and preparation wasn't quite what we wanted, and we took a good thumping from Upright Rugby with Ty Leggett's group, which were very sharp in a desperation game for them to get into the semis, and it was full marks to them. They put a good score on us, but that was a wake-up call they needed, and they started to really bear down from that point on, and we haven't taken our foot off the gas yet. So our challenge is that we have 10 players on this trip, but 2 boys couldn't come at the last minute, and so far no major injuries that have kept anyone out of the lineup. So we've been able to put every player in every game, which is a real benefit for kids that travel from long distances and pay a good fee to try and get out here. So we've got to make sure we can achieve value.
Of course, and when you're traveling from distances, it's always a challenge to the logistics of it and everything, and those injuries happen, so it's tough.
Yeah, the toughest thing is meals. When you play every hour, we've never had a 5-game tournament in one day before, and we're doing it again today. So trying to find food in there is a challenge. So
yeah, of course,
I've got to brush up on my nutritionist skills.
Yeah, of course.
So this is Isaac Gonevo to Kieran Merritt Hitch to Johnny Buck from the Calgary Canucks. Johnny's just got an invite a couple weeks ago to the Canada West U19 camp.
Yeah, so some great talent out there, and you guys have you've thrown it together for this festival, but are there other events that you guys will be attending? Or
Yes, we were happy to make this one work, and I'm disappointed our girls couldn't quite pull it off due to timing of Canada camps and how many girls are getting picked for Canada camps. That we just couldn't get the funding in time. So the reason we really want to make this work is this is the only junior elite tournament open to all provincial players in Canada. Well, great take by Kieran Merritt Hitch, and that is a 16-year-old Logan Kitts from Cowichan in the corner.
That's a great try.
So yeah, this is the only elite U18 boys event in Canada offered this year due to unfortunate cancellation of the Victoria Sevens and the North Shore Sevens, which we often attend with 4+ teams in boys and girls. So we had to make this work. But Kieran Merritt Hitch there has been invited as a young one to the Dubai International Invitational Sevens next month. Then we depart on November 26th. We're there for a week, and he's part of a North American selects group. And I really look forward to seeing more of what I've seen in the last 6 games from him. He's a fantastic player from my alumni former school, Brentwood College, and I've heard great things about him.
Yeah. So we'll just let Cam go back to give a little speech to the boys. I don't know if they need much talking to after that first half, but so at halftime we have the Celtic Barbarians up 27-0. Believe it's more based on a couple missed conversions we have, but the point is that they have a strong lead over Brampton here, and from what we've heard, they have quite a few skilled players on this squad, being selected for Canada camps, being selected for select teams. So definitely strong competition, and could be favorites to win this U18 club division.
Once I showed it, I was like, oh. That does not look good.
So the ref is just making his way back onto the field, and the second half, I'm sure, will be getting started shortly.
No, you don't get an extra. 1 minute till he's in. White ready. Black ready. Time's on.
So the second half is just getting underway here at Fletcher's Field in the U18 club division. We have the Celtic Barbarians playing the Brampton Beavers. And the Beavers starting short here with still serving a yellow. And the Barbarians look to take advantage of it early here as Isaac Williams out of Alberta gets a try in the right corner. So we're joined again by Cam Wilton in the second half, head coach of the Celtic Barbarians. And Cam, just as Isaac Williams has scored here, I see on your notes that he's a free agent and elite soccer convert.
That's right. Isaac, I scouted Isaac at the provincial championships in Alberta, and his team, along with his teammate, who just, I don't know if he slotted that convert, Isaac Gonevo, both play for Centennial High School in Calgary, and they're back-to-back provincial champions, and I'd have to say Isaac Williams, who's an unknown quantity to everyone watching at the time, was the difference maker in that tournament. And we've been trying to get him involved with club rugby, rep rugby, and sevens particularly due to his footwork and outstanding speed. But this is the first time we've been able to make it work. So we're happy to have him, and he's having a blast, and I think he's put a few tries down
Thumbs off.
thus far. He's learning to understand the shape of the game and how it all works compared to his high school 15s experience. But he's exactly the kind of guy we're looking for to push up into the Maple Leafs program and eventually try and get into the senior men's. I mean, this group is geared towards the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, because that's kind of the age that they're going to be coming about as men's senior players. So saying that, the Maple Leafs have already been looking at 17, 18-year-old boys of ours, so and across the country at that age. So it's never too young to get their info and try and get them involved in as many good sevens tournaments as possible.
Of course, and you mentioned some of your players playing football as well. How important, I know Rugby Canada's definitely identified it, is making those conversions from the football and the soccers and other sports like that.
Absolutely, it's a tough sell for us, and especially in the prairies where I'm based. But Zach Folan, who's been our captain for the tournament and probably our MVP thus far, has been playing football at U of T. So fortunately for us and bad for them that they didn't make the playoffs, and he was available this weekend. But he's a perfect example of the kind of football athlete that crosses over well, and he's got a good tool set that helps him have success in the sevens rugby. And he opened a few eyes yesterday, I know for sure. And even the Toronto Wolfpack Rugby League guys were talking about a couple of the boys, Zach being one of them. So there's multiple options for these boys, which is great, especially when university scholarships are involved. We have several players in the U.S. and in Canada who are utilizing football scholarships to help their way through college, but yet being involved with the national team programs at U20.
Of course. And just like that, the Barbarians are once again on the board. So we'll see if the conversion sticks here.
So it's Isaac Gonevo from West Shore in Vancouver Island, who's joined the Premier Men's League this year, returning after a few years off. And Isaac had to do some bribing with his coach to come on this trip in the middle of the BC Premier League schedule right now. Isaac's already also a member of the Calgary Hornets and Prairie Wolfpack team, and is last year toured to France with Zach Folan with the Canada U18 squad. And there's an example of the speed that we're excited about from Isaac Williams. There's just no substitute for that.
And how many of these players were involved? I guess some of the locals from the Alberta clubs were involved in the CRCs that took place in Alberta in August.
Yeah, I would say, well, so Isaac was unable to attend, but he would normally be a fixture on that squad, and has been part of the Wolfpack group for several years. Dalton Campbell was another one that won the national championship with Alberta. Ben Miller was in the system until the Nationals. He wasn't able to attend, so he wasn't really able to try out for them, but he would have had a good shot. Ethan Simmons played for the Edmonton Gold, and I think that's one that they missed, but they were particularly strong at his position, so I'll forgive them for that. But Ethan Simmons is a fantastic scrum half and rarely misses a tackle. So yeah, we have 2 or 3, and then some of the younger, both U16 players were at the CRCs at the U16 level, playing for New Brunswick and BC. So they played against each other likely without knowing each other until this trip. So that's kind of cool for us to have these guys come together and share some stories.
Of course, and as you mentioned that, like a trip like this, how is that for bonding, and how do you see these groups come together over the however many days that you're in the area?
Oh, it's great, and I'd like to say we have all kinds of team building opportunities for them, but we don't because of the timing of everything. I should also mention Johnny Buck was an outstanding addition to the Wolfpack in their championship this year. I don't know if Zach Folan was able to play this year. He bounces between England and Canada. So yeah, it's always a challenge, but they know why they're all here, and they really enjoy this kind of setting. There's less pressures than a national festival, which I enjoy, and you have a bit of freedom, but with that comes many other challenges, especially with staffing. The budget for a sevens tournament is pretty much the same for a 15s tournament, and trying to make it affordable and give them value so you can get the right players that you've invited is always my goal. And luckily we've had some big sponsorship show up in the last couple of years that have really made it work for us. So the boys from the moment that we pick them up at the airport, it's they're on autopilot. I kind of just sit back and let them be teenage boys and tell stories.
That's great. Well, as the game finishes up and the Barbarians take the victory, I'd just like to thank Cam for coming on board with us, and wish you the best in the rest of the festival.
Thanks so much. Hopefully we'll see you later today.
Of course.
Cheers. So I don't know if I can come back and actually announce other games.
46 mil. A lot. No, eight strikes.
I tried to say it.
So we're now shifting to U16 girls club division here at Field 5 at Fletcher's Field. And just as we speak, the Ajax Wanderers are scoring the first try of the game. In the pink and black kits, we have the Toronto Amazons. And in the red and white, we have the Ajax Wanderers. So Ajax gets the first points on the board here. Tough conversion here. We'll see how it goes. And unsuccessful here. So Ajax up 5-0 on a early score into the left corner.
It was looking good 2 minutes ago.
So the Toronto Amazons looking to avenge that early try by the Ajax Wanderers. Just getting pulled down, almost broke away from that tackle. And the Amazons look to have scored a try right under the post here. So just waiting on the conversion. Seeing if the Toronto Amazons can take a 7-5 advantage here. So just hits the crossbar. So it's 5-5 here at Fletcher's Fields for the 2017 Magnificent Sevens presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. And you're watching the U16 girls division. Toronto Amazons versus the Ajax Wanderers. So we have a scrum feed here for Ajax. Looks like ball went in touch there off that tackle. So should be an Ajax Wanderers line out. Good field position. Looking to spread it wide to the left side. Amazon's making some changes. The Toronto Amazons U14 girls won the U14 club division on day 1 of the 2017 Magnificent Sevens.
We got a blanket.
So that line out wasn't straight, and the Amazons were able to restart. But looks like Ajax has gotten the ball back and are bringing the ball out to the wing. Nice tackle there.
Good tackle.
Ball goes into touch there, so we will have a line out.
Ready, replay. Well, replay. Come back.
And the ref has signaled for halftime. So it is 5-5 here in the U16 girls division between the Ajax Wanderers and the Toronto Amazons. I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors for their continued support of the 2017 Magnificent Sevens Rugby Festival presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. Make sure to head to magnificentsevens.com to check out updated schedule and results under the Schedule tab. So the Toronto Amazons have added their second try of the match, bringing their lead to 10-5. Going for the conversion here. Conversion unsuccessful, so the Amazons have a 10-5 lead. We're just partway through the second half. Amazons kick the ball off, but doesn't go the 10 meters. So Ajax gets the restart at half. Looks like a high tackle there called on that play. Some strong passing by the Amazons to get within the 10-meter line. They get the restart off that penalty. And it looks like the Amazons have added another try to the board. So that brings their lead to 15-5, and they're right under the uprights. So we'll see if they can get the conversion here. Oh, and the ball hits the crossbar. So the conversion's unsuccessful, but the Amazons now have a 15-5 lead here at Fletcher's. And this is the U16 girls division at the 2017 Magnificent Sevens, presented by the Toronto Wolfpack. So the referee signals the end of the game, and the Toronto Amazons have won 15-5 in this one. That was the U16 girls division. So we're going to take a short break here, a 20-minute break, and the next match will be at 11:40 a.m., and we're going to have the U18 boys shield pool. So that's the 7th ranked team versus the 8th ranked team.
Hey, boss. No, nothing major. I just, when did you want me to start the second stream? Oh, so we're in a 20-minute downer now. So, and like right after this, we have game for like 1:40. scoot out for everything worked out well. Hashtag good. Hashtag good. Hashtag good. Sorry, cheers, bud. Bye.
Stay warm.
Yeah. I get it. So, I did get a solid. You guys have a hand warmer now. You just have to turn it on and off when you want.
Yeah,
And
cool.
it warms up your hands.
I don't know if you want to go up to the south room. I just figured out the 11:40 game, and I'm supposed to have the next canceled.
Oh, okay.
So our next game's not being played.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want to get up and get warm or grab food. Or
Yeah, I'll
anything.
grab a bite.
I know we have pretty cool grilled cheese truck there.
Okay,
But we also have some staff food.
yeah.